Hey guys, some stupid sketch show guy here with another episode of my opinion on every figure, and today's episode is yet another one that was very highly requested, Schleich. Safari Limited definitely had a lot of requests, but I think Schleich actually had even more. And while I have covered Schleich in the past, it was mostly in the form of a joke. So today we're going to give Schleich a slightly more serious look as we cover every single one of their figures. Not just Replicasaurs, not just Conquering the Earth, every single one we could find. Oh, and I guess this is also my Halloween special because of the time this video is being released. How do I make this spooky somehow? Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that one. Anyways, let's start talking about Schleich. What the shuckle is this thing? This would be a pretty cool Christmas ornament. This is just weird. It looks like a stoned Smurf Triceratops. This thing is absolutely adorable. And this has a face that only a mother could love. I like it. Did Fred the Dinosaur Man sculpt this figure? What? I kinda like it, but still, what? Not good. This is not a good figure by any means, but how do they somehow get worse? Long neck boy! What in the Harryhausen? You just got nay-nayed. This thing just looks stupid. That green spot just looks absolutely terrible. What a charming, ugly creature. That's not a sauropod, that's a river otter. What in tarnation is this? This looks worse than the last one. It has a better paint job, but my god, that face. It's charming in a weird way, but yeah, it's very ugly. For some reason, the gray color scheme just really works here. This is definitely a very cursed figure. Just look at it screaming into oblivion. Just looks like a redo of the Carnegie Stegosaurus, but a bit worse. I get it, it's a very ugly figure, it's funny to laugh at, but you know what? He deserves a break. Have a cookie. Just another mediocre Ceratopsian. It's almost impressive how the older this figure gets, the more things are just wrong with it. It's a blue blob. An even bigger blue blob. This figure doesn't even have anything cool about it, it's just kinda there. This one's also just kinda there. Very forgettable. Ew, it has the texture and color of a golden raisin. It's got a surfboard for a face that takes up half its body length. I'll always take the collecting one over this, but this one's still unique. This thing is so forgettable looking it makes me angry. This is an irradiated sausage. It's just okay. I mean, I like the blue on the face. This is its uglier brother. It's a very bad figure, don't get me wrong, but it's like funny bad. This looks like a green horse. The paint job is decent, and it has a nice classic derpy face. It has a fun vintage look to it, but yeah, it's really ugly. Just another mediocre Ceratopsian. It's got a melon for a head, and I absolutely love that. It looks like a Belugasaurus. This figure is so mildly infuriating with how bare bones it is. I like the paint job, and I also really like the sculpt. What an interesting creature. Did someone make this out of sand? It looks weird. I could snap that thing's neck like a twig. Ew, get it away from me! We don't get a lot of Ichthyosaurus figures, so to have one with this kind of quality is absolutely special. I'll take the Collected Chronosaurus over this figure any day. What a derpy crocodile. I like it. Yeah, no thank you. Pure mediocrity. I don't like this figure, but it's mostly because it gets more action than I do. Please teach me your ways! Just another mediocre figure. The paint scheme was done better on the Carnegie Stegosaurus, but the proportions are just so weird. Ew, it's so old and crusty looking. I know this figure's probably nostalgic for some people, but to me it just looks bad. It had a good idea, but it just missed the mark. No thank you. Ew, this looks like an Invicta figure from 30 years ago, except this was made in the 2000s. I don't know what it is with this figure, but I just don't like it. I know how much my friend Indominus Rex 01 loves this figure because he grew up with it, which is why I say it's absolute trash. Hey look, it's a gray blob. Jesus Christ, that's ugly. This paint scheme just doesn't do it for me. It has the same paint scheme as the Carnegie Triceratops, but somehow the sculpt is way better. Still can't figure out Ankylosaurs, I see. It's a cool paint scheme, but man, it looks weird. Somehow they made Spinosaurus look even worse. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass. My god, this thing has been in so many stock images, I hate it. This thing is just... no thank you. Whoa, never mind, give me the other one, this is way worse. Not a bad Walking with Dinosaurs themed figure, but not the best either. It's okay. This figure looks like it has back problems. A surprisingly cool and well-executed figure, definitely one of my favorite Megatherium models. The Safari Limited one is better, but this is still a great figure. It looks okay. Did that bear take drugs or something? What is going on? Hee hee, it's a spiky ball. It's kinda cute. I mean, it's alright, but I can't deny it's a bit of a classic. I don't like this thing. It just doesn't appeal to me at all. Neither does this, just painfully average. Why are there so many bootlegs of this figure? The original already sucked. It's a slight improvement over their original Parasaurolophus, but still not very good. Again, I can't really put my finger on it, but I just don't like this figure. A surprisingly good paint job. This is definitely an improvement for their Ankylosaurs. It's just okay, but like the Allosaurus, I can't deny this is a classic. It's just kinda there. Yet another painfully average figure with a boring paint job. I can see why this is Schleich's most popular figure, but it's just not for me. I like the feathers on the hands, but everything else is just terrible. I can't deny, this is very cool, and does deserve all its popularity. It's more interesting than their other Ceratopsians, but it's still just alright. It's a bit cartoony, but honestly, it's charming. It's pretty cool looking. This figure's also a bit silly, but I can't deny, it's kinda cool. A slight improvement over the original sculpt and paint job. I like it. This sucks. I hate that I see this thing everywhere. A pretty cool pterosaur. I still like the red one better, but this figure is still pretty good. This just sucks. This sucks equally, but in a different way. I really like the purple on this thing. Pentaceratops was definitely an ugly duckling as a baby. No, thank you. Oh my god, that's terrible. I like the purple and the yellow's alright, but the sculpt is terrible. Okay, this is a sick figure. The pose could be a little bit better, but very cool. Well, this sucks. That is a whole new level of terrible. Yeah, this is why I don't like buying minis, because they usually come out like this. This is just the wrinklier version of the Safari Triceratops, and that figure was already not good. Jesus, those teeth are huge. The only thing that's bigger is how much of a piece of crap this is. The paint scheme's alright, but that's about it. Why have I never seen this figure before in my life? It's alright. The paint scheme and sculpt are alright, but that face. That is the face of a meth head. It's Baby Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla.
Peter. The horse is here.
Yet another ugly green thing. What is this thing, and why are its feet so big? For being the only Barapasaurus figure, it definitely does a good job. It's kinda cool in a weird way, but it's very flawed. Just get the Papodimetrodon. No, officer, I am sober. A slightly better paint job, but my god, it still sucks. Definitely one of the best Dunkleosteus models. I know plenty of people don't like this thing, but screw you, I like it. No, thank you. Why have I never seen this figure before? It's really cool. The red highlights are a real plus. Not a bad Ichthyosaur. A very bad Spinosaurus. It's okay, the red spines definitely help though. This is just terrible. And this is a hot pile of garbage. Whoa, that is a new level of cursed. What the hell did they feed that pickle? I mean, it's colorful, but that doesn't make it good. Not cursed at all. Yeah, this repaint sucks. It's interesting, there's a lot right with it, and there's a lot wrong with it. This is the figure of all time. Talk about a downgrade. Well, this is a nice green dinosaur. It's alright, but I do prefer the purple one a bit more. Schleich just can't get these mini Spinosauruses correct. And I stand corrected. This is pretty good. Just wish it was a bit bigger. I don't really like that this thing looks like it's in constant pain. It's a golden dinosaur, yay? I wish I could burn this, but it already looks very burnt. I respect the fact that they tried making a feathered raptor, but I've seen way better. I mean, it's kinda cool. This is less cool. Not bad at all. Good job. Yeah, no thank you, I prefer the other one. The pose sucks, the paint sucks, the sculpt sucks, everything sucks. Ew, it's naked! Talk about a downgrade. This is absolutely awesome. I prefer the blue version, but this is still pretty good. It looks kind of electric. Cool. The paint and sculpt are pretty good, but it's a bit too small. Now this is a big improvement. The paint scheme's alright, but the sculpt feels very hollow and empty. This figure looks very old and wrinkly, especially in person, which I guess makes sense. Oh my god, it predicted Dominion! A significant improvement on the juvenile figure. A very underrated Triceratops. A pretty nice redo. And now it's gold? Yay! Why is this out of all figures the best version of the T-Rex they've made? Like with the Utah Raptor, I like the attempt, but you could do way better. The colors are bland, but it's well sculpted. This is one of the best Ceratopsian figures I've ever seen from any company. Well, it's green now, which I guess is more creative. It's just okay. It's not a bad paint job, it's just not executed the best. This is definitely one of their best. It's a better paint job, but it's like polishing a turd. Where the hell were you hiding this? This is so much better! After all these years, Schleich still can't make a good plesiosaur. An amazing sculpt and paint job, but take that thing to a dentist. It's a cool paint job, but it's so skinny. Give it some milk. It's just a green, spiky ball with its tongue flailing out. That's not very good. Absolutely spectacular. I get it, the sculpt is absolutely terrible, and it doesn't even have a neck, but the paint job's kinda cool. And this figure is the opposite. It has a good sculpt, but I hate the paint job. So painfully average. The pose is a bit wonky, but everything else is super cool. It's alright, but I'll stick with the Papocaprasuchus. The paint job is good, but the sculpt is very weird. It's too fat in some places and too skinny in others. Yeah, I'm sticking with the Dracorex. I hate that this figure has the texture of a fruit roll-up. Oh look, it's a pretty cool anime reference. It's weird and a little ugly, but I like it. Plain and simple, I just don't like this thing. The promo images for this figure are so dishonest. In person, it looks like a piece of vomit. America isn't always the best color scheme. Ow! The edge! Well, this defies the laws of physics. This looks really fun to play with. Yep, that's an ugly-ass dinosaur. Just shoot the damn dinosaur already, he needs to be put out of his misery. Yeah, keep him in that holding pen forever, and maybe drop him in Ohio. I mean, this is a pretty cool set. The volcano and the laser guns are pretty cool, but the dinosaurs are not. A very cool and unique take on a surprisingly underrepresented dinosaur. I like the paint job, but my god, this figure looks really skinny for an Admonosaurus. What a cool paint scheme. That red is awesome. I know a lot of people don't like this figure, but I love it, and you can't change my mind. This feels like a repaint, but it's not. It has just enough differences to make it its own thing, but the idea of fantasy dinosaurs is a good concept, but every company that tries it just kinda half-asses it. And there you have it. I've now tackled another one of the most highly requested figure companies. Schleich has been donezo. Make sure to comment on other figure companies I should do in future episodes. Auf Wiedersehen!